Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we are going to be taking a look at Olchan versus WAACKXXXY for a Red Bull themed battle between the two of them, and we're going to be looking at the commentary that WAACKXXXY has on her channel with Olchan, and I am always here for this. I love being able to just hear their perspectives on what they are referencing in the battles, and so for me, in my case, I'm excited to look just to see what do I think they're going to reference or talk about in this battle we're about to watch. So let's go ahead. We're going to take a look at the battle first, give some overview over the overall thoughts, and then we're going to watch the commentary. Let's go.
Both treacherous. I'm an American psych, I'm a receptionist. Let's go somewhere in this boyfriend's gone, so that means we're gonna clear.
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
Hit it one time, hit it two times. You know what happens by the third, hit a few times.
This feels like a warm-up for him here. Nice. You tripled it, that was cool. Cool. He feels a bit reserved here. Nice. I like the switch on that. I love it. I love this little interaction between him and the DJ, where the DJ's like, he's living in it. I love the kick on that. I don't think he liked his round very much.
Listen up, big boy is big boy with a big body. I like big toys, little itty bitty, but I make big noise.
Whenever you do these types of battles, I wonder if they're like, it's just very different. You know, it's not a judge showcase, it's just like a promotional showcase. So I think it feels a little different. Yeah, so there's that bass being put in, so she had to hit that. I like that. That was dope. So she had to predict that it was gonna happen, and I like the pull down on it too.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Cool. New track. Here we go. Okay, this is more of a breaking beat right here. What are we about to do? Said, are y'all asleep? I'm wondering if they're not getting a lot of energy from the crowd, and that can just influence it. You know what I mean? Like whenever you see people who are like entertaining, because that's what they're doing right now, it's just entertaining. It's not, I don't think this feels this, it's not the same as like a normal exchange you would feel with somebody. When you battle, I feel like you get more energy from each other, is what this feels like right now. Because they're here to entertain, to promote. It's kind of what it's coming across as too, and the crowd just is dead. So they're just kind of feels like they're just kind of dancing for nobody. I wonder if they'll talk about that, because you notice he was like, they're asleep. It's like there's no energy, so they're literally just pulling straight willpower out to do these rounds. Is what this feels like. That was a nice little moment. That was nice. That was cool. I like that. I love its little antenna coming into the shot on the camera. Dope. Cool.
Round 3. Catch you that.
Nice. Oh. That was nice.
Yes, so.
Okay. BPM's pretty fast on this. So you would normally see, you can see some boogaloo elements put in, but notice everything's expedited. It's all faster. Okay. Yeah, get your water, my dude. I love it. I love our Mr. DJ. That was fun. I like that. Woo! Okay, okay. Yep, like using the speaker. Could it be she also wants to showcase variety but also take a break? I don't know. We're gonna find out. And I had no idea there was a secondary stage, which is right there. You know, are people gonna vote? I personally wouldn't vote. I would let's just enjoy it. You know what I mean? Cool. I mean, love that. He's like sweeping on her behalf. That was cute. He said, come on. Dope. Yeah. All right. So, of course, we could speculate all day long on how they were feeling, this, that, and the other. But why should we when we have them right here? So we're just going to watch it. Let's go.
각시, 비타민 C.
Have him in the
큰 게 하나가
in the
있죠.
video, man.
레드불에서 또 준비해
In
주신
the
댄스 유어
demo.
스타일 코리아 이전에 아주 유명한
Yes.
고려대학교의 입실렌티를 또 다녀왔죠.
소리 질러.
아,
Yes.
스페셜 배틀로서 배틀 문화도 좀 간접 체험해보고
Yes.
이제
Yes.
입실렌티 오신 분들에 한해서 레드불 댄스 유어 스타일 코리아의 심사 방식도 경험을 해보실 수 있는 자리가 되지 않았나.
저희가 또 무려 고려대학교
그러니까요.
입실렌티를
That's cool.
갔잖아요.
저 진짜 TV로만 봐온 것이거든요. 저희 무한도전 되게 열심히
진짜.
봐가지고.
고대 너무 사랑해요. 아 근데 그때는 제가 좀 실수한 게 하나 있어가지고
어떤 거죠? 아, 저 알 것 같네요.
저의 아웃핏을 좀 잡아주세요. 그때 너무 죄송했습니다.
Ah.
아니 제가 고려대 빨간색 입고 하지만 저 우리
이거
오빠?
잠깐만요. 저도 지금
잠시만요. 저도 진짜 올 빨간색을 찾고 싶었는데 아 진짜 그때 제가 너무 빨간색을 못 입어가지고 아 제가 댓글을 진짜 안 보는데 빨간색 입은 오빠가 가능성이다. 나는 거의 이제 탈락한.
Was she wearing like a rival color shirt?
마음을 보여드리고자
그죠.
오늘 이렇게 빨간색을 이제 입고 왔어요.
왁시가 근데 입실렌티에 가려고 수정 컨셉 윤지로 나갔을 때 빨간 고리가 그거였다는
그죠? 오빠도 아시네.
가기 전에 얘기했었거든요. 미리 좀 홍보차 유럽 가서 루틴을 빨간색으로 할 예정이다.
그쵸.
그랬죠?
그래가지고 제가 그랬는데 그때 왜 그랬을까?
그러게요.
그래서 오늘 입고 왔고 영상에서 또 이제 갓 오천님의 그 춤도 이제 곧 볼 예정이고
세상에 예.
You flatter
오빠
me.
보셨어요?
아니요. 전혀요.
저도 못 봤어요. 그래서 제가 봤을 때는 우리 둘 다 처음 보니까 이게 진짜 찐 반응이지 않을까. 근데 나 솔직히 내 두 눈 뜨고 못 봐.
엄청 힘들어할 것 같은데 둘 다.
Yeah.
일단 제가 열심히 봐볼게요.
예.
왜냐면 오빠가 또 성공이거든요.
아, 그죠. 원래 레드불 댄스 유어 스타일은 레드 코너에서 먼저 나오는 이제 룰인데 이날 뭔가 너무 그러기가 싫은 거죠.
Well, technically he was wearing red.
그런 느낌이었어서 제가 블루 코너였는데 그냥 왁시한테 나 먼저 나가도 돼?
맞아. 이날 저는 이게 진짜 신기했어요. 보통 후공을 하고 싶어 하시는 프리스타일 댄서분들이 많은데 오빠가 성공을 하고 싶다고 하셔가지고
That is interesting.
뭐지? 이랬는데 제가 마음속에 생각했죠. 아 만약에 첫 번째 노래가 아 그래도 내가 알거나 혹은 뭐 디스코나 혹은 설마 힙합이 나오면 아 내가 먼저 때리도 괜찮겠다 라고 생각했는데 아니 웬걸 힙합이 나와버려.
그렇죠.
그래서 제가 기억나요? 제가 보다가 오빠한테 딱 봤거든요. 오빠한테 이렇게 눈으로 신호 보냈어. 넣을 거죠?
Please come up.
오빠가 보자마자
You go
네.
first. This is your track.
이날도 저희와 함께 락플라이 형이 함께 하셔서 또 좋은 음악을 또 틀어주셨죠.
그럼 가볼까요?
예.
그럼 시작하도록 하겠습니다. 렛츠고.
Let's go.
근데 잠시만 이거 시작하기 전에 저희 한마디 해요. 몇 시였죠?
제가 알기로 한 12시 반 이쯤이었었던 것 같아요.
12시 반쯤이었던 것 같아요. 응.
일단 뭐 핑계입니다만 저는 오랜 시간 동안 오전에 힙합을 하지 않았습니다. 지금 이 시간은 오전이다.
Okay, I gotta talk about that. So this is such a real thing, especially like in the choreography scene. Whenever you compete in choreo, sometimes your call time can be as early as 7 in the morning. And most of the time, if you think about it, when you're training, it's in the afternoon, like 4:30, because a lot of kids go to school and then they go to their extracurriculars after. And so like 4:30, they get done around 8:30, sometimes depending on the studio. And their competition weekends, some of that mess starts at like 8 a.m. and they have to be on it like it's like they've been training for an hour and a half. Like that kind of stuff's very real. And so he makes a very valid point, which is probably, it could be something that I was picking up on, but I did also notice he was like, are y'all asleep? You know? So I was kind of referencing more to that, but that could make sense as to why some of his movement quality was, it felt more like a warm up to me personally, compared to what I'm used to seeing when he's in the zone versus whenever he's out of it or like just calibrating. That could be a reason, because whenever you're dancing in a different environment, not just because of the just the space itself, but the time of day in which you practice too, I think influences your overall movement quality depending on the circumstance. So this is a very, very valid point that is just cross-referenced across the board in the competitive format. I'm so glad he talked about that.
몸에 뭔가 지금.
Right. No, mine goes through that too. Absolutely.
그죠. 가자 이제 슬슬.
Yeah.
슬슬 들어가려고 하죠. 오전이니까 이게 쉽지 않거든요.
And it's not easy
그죠.
when you're not used to it.
근데 잘 잡아내신다.
That was nice.
아.
But normally he would hit that on a
보면서
bass.
옆에서 봤잖아요. 이 오빠 붐붐 하고 이거 핸들 방금 이제 막 손가락 접은 거.
Yeah, that was dope.
좀 느껴서 아 오빠가 확실히 그걸 진짜 잘해. 진짜 오빠랑 저랑 다른 점 중에 하나가 오빠는 진짜 게이지를 이렇게 올리기보다 이렇게 잡아주잖아요. 근데 이게 진짜 어렵거든요,
Yes.
여러분. 천천히 올린다는 게 댄싱이 끊기지 않는 상태에서 가야 이게 조금씩 이렇게 올라갈 수 있는데 오빠가 뭔가 오버 텐션도 아니고 그렇다가 아 이것도 아닌 상태에서 노래를 되게 계속 들고 가는 거예요. 그거 보고 아 나 좀 긴장해야겠다 이 생각했었어요. 이거 보고. 저는
개인적으로 열 올리기가 되게 쉽지 않았었어가지고 그래서 약간 그냥 저 텐션을 계속 돌았었던 것 같아요.
진짜?
과하게 가면은 그 순간 어느 지점을 넘으면 이제 그 다음부터는 못 돌아올 것 같아서 그냥 최대한 얌전히 하려고 했었죠.
Because he also could feel his body's not right. His body's not where it needs to be because it's early in the morning.
어차피 오빠 놓고 나도 오이시오시 하고 있었어. 근데 생각보다 진짜 뜨거워요.
그죠?
I bet it was.
저 이제 저 이제 사라질게요. 아, 왜냐면 제가 안 봐도 알아요. 지금 내 몸에 힘이 잔뜩 들어갔고 뭘 하려고 이제 테크닉을 하고 있어요. 분명히.
Yep. Yep.
바닥이 또 내려가지 않나?
Not yet. Not there it is. There she is.
근데 첫 라운드 때부터 쉽지 않거든요.
So early in the morning, right? At noon.
해낸 것 같습니다.
오, 저 왜?
Why did I do that?
씨야 왜 그러니?
네, 굉장히 잘 들은.
She did pretty good on this round. I agree with that.
그만. 막시야 제발. 아, 왜 그랬을까?
에너지 좋은데요? 근데 분위기 되게 잘 잡은 것 같아요. 뉘앙스도 잘 느껴지고 배틀을 진짜 잘합니다. 이제 저한테는 여기서부터가 이제 어떤 시험이죠. 이렇게 이제 다른 노래.
Okay, I understand what he means.
나오자마자 바로 브레이킹 밟아버리시는데 오빠 스텝을.
힘드니까.
But it's still the same level.
아니, 이거 살짝 힘들기도 했고 스텝 하고 딱 앞을 봤는데 너무 그 많은 이제 학생분들께서 이렇게 계셔가지고 제가 그래서 약간 마상을 그래도 이거밖에 안 돼? 좀 해주세요. 해주세요. 하는데
오케이.
또 바로 해주셨다.
맞아.
살짝 서운할 뻔했어요.
진짜 그런 거 오빠도 진짜 했는데 진짜 맛있으신 것 같아요.
네, 그죠.
저는 개인적으로 행사장에서 노래 들었을 때 긴장하면 잘 안 들리잖아요.
네.
저는 긴장 플러스 그때 제 귀가 막귀였나 봐. 노래가 안 들려가지고.
근데 마찬가지였었던 것 같아.
그래요?
그 미세하게 듣기는 아무래도 공간도 이렇게
맞아,
야외
야외다 보니까 소리가 나가니까.
아.
그래서 저는 더, 왜 이렇게
I
안
didn't
되지?
think about that.
오빠 친구가.
It's a very valid
가서
point.
시간 나 변명해.
What's interesting with that, though, is that with like outdoor spaces or even just like whenever you perform in general, normally there's a speaker that's like a feedback speaker, so it lets you hear the music and it's projected directly to you as a dancer on stage. Because you have, it's like not two different systems, but you have the speakers that go out to your audience, and then you have a speaker a lot of times on stage that goes to you, and that's what I thought that's what that speaker is that you see whenever they pan it back. Let me see if we can go there.
열심히 해. 이런 생각을 보고 있었어.
아닙니다.
Yeah, so if you notice right here, that's a feedback speaker where that they should be playing the music. So I do find it interesting that they still struggle to hear even with those, but that's a big stage, and in thinking about how it's structured, that can make sense. I could totally understand that, but man. Here's the deal. Even Olchan at his exhausted is still freaking incredible. Like that's incredible. Oh, look at that.
홍쌤 봤으니까 한
Look at
거죠.
little Leo Wack.
그죠.
Right.
나는 진짜 너무 좋아요.
She's so funny.
이거 한잔 하고 있을게요.
I'll keep myself occupied.
제가
Enjoy the
이제
show.
2라운드 때부터는 조금 텔링도 조금 더 다양해지고 그런 게 좀
She
있습니다.
showcased
에너지도
more
그리고 이런 거
technique, yeah, and more like not complexity, but more explosive energy. That was cool. Yeah.
저번에 왁시 그 수우파 비디오를 리뷰했었을 때 스위칭이 뭐냐는 댓글 스위칭은 별다른 뜻이 아니고요.
Yeah, to switch, to switch it up.
이 전환을 얼마나 좀 자연스럽게 하느냐에 대한 이야기였어가지고 근데 여기서도 보시면 아시겠지만 스위칭이 상당히 자연스럽다.
감사합니다.
예.
If we're gonna elaborate on that, so from like if we're gonna like analyze what it means to transition, you have your focal point movements, which is a lot of her, you know, that wicka 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 with the leg, right? How she gets in and out of that is considered your transition. And a lot of times people neglect the transitions in a freestyle battle kit or toolkit as well as choreography because it's not a wow factor, and they think that the audience really cares about your focal points or like your key moments. But to me, a really good full what is it? Just like a full, concise, considerate choreography to your track, as well as with freestyle, is you see somebody and you see their maturity as a mover, an artist, is you see the amount of attention placed on the transitions as much as the actual focal points on your track or your musicality moments. They make the transitions a part of it. It's not separate, right? It's not a you choose your own adventure. They matter just as much. Even if the audience doesn't see that, it helps make your set more cohesive. And so that's what he's talking about, is that Waxy, whether subconsciously or consciously, she is intentional with how she gets in and out of her movements. And if you notice, if there's a time where she kind of slips up or there's a kind of awkward position she's in, she's able to calibrate through her use of transitions to still make it a fun accent focal point moment. And so that's what he's kind of talking about in like a different verbiage, but kind of the same thing. I talk about switching textures, switching postures, meaning that you're shifting between or transitioning between different postures in a very quick way. He's talking about switching, which is cool. So cool.
보시면은 이렇게 테크닉적으로 빵 하고 돌고
Yeah, I love that.
근데
That
저런 거
cool.
있어? 왜 저랬을까?
이렇게 위아래 레벨 체인지도 했다가 다시 여기서 이제 리듬감으로
근데 제가 느끼는
I think that was my favorite round she did.
원래는 제가 뭘 하고 싶었냐면 빵 나오잖아요. 근데 이게 빵이 질감이 빡이 아니라 왕 이거잖아요. 이거 하고 싶은데 몸이 말을 안 듣는 거야.
그렇지
몸이 가야 되는데 힘드니까 여기서 스탑이 돼버린 거야.
그렇지 오전이니까
오전 댄스. 나도
Yeah, morning dance.
여기서부터 집중해라고
천천히
해서
I think-
천천히 넘어가.
I think it's a mix of it being in the morning and they're both not used to dancing in the morning. But secondly, I also think it's because of the environment of the space. They couldn't hear the music as profound, and also your audience wasn't giving them any energy, so it was straight output on their part. And I think it's a mix of all of that. And sometimes you get events like that, and I think it's really great experience to learn and grow in. And I think it's really cool for us to be able to see it firsthand in this way, right? To see how they were feeling and to kind of validate a lot of things that I had mentioned on, you know, there were things that were off. They were not their best here. You know, they're not like in this, they're not in this, that battle like go to, they're not in the zone, if that kind of makes sense. And that's okay. They still freak embodied. And that's what's really cool about it, is it showcases them even at their morning version of themselves. It's still, they're still killing it.
해서 좀 슬로우
But you're not always going to be on all the time. And I'm glad that they're showing that it's okay to not be always on. Sometimes you struggle.
진짜 대단합니다.
여러분.
Yeah.
딥 연습하세요.
연습하세요?
Work on your dips.
세
Yep.
번째. 와, 이 노래가 도전적이었죠, 정말.
It was.
보셨나요?
아, 몰랐죠.
진짜.
노래 템포가 이렇게
It does
빠르면
have like a electric boogaloo influence
이거
on it.
엄청 시간 길 텐데. 빨리 올리면 안 될 텐데.
He was more in the zone here
이거 되게 현명한 생각이다.
than he was in the
그러다
first
보니까
two.
뭔가 좀 이렇게 계속 그냥 웨이브만 하고 돌고 도는 그런 느낌밖에 없는 거 좀 아쉽긴 한데.
I can agree with that. But I'm a sucker for waves, so I don't mind the
저는
waves.
진짜 이게 너무 신기해. 왜냐면 저는 배틀을 참여를 하잖아요. 제 성격상인 건지 제가 몸이 이미 이게 트레이닝이 되어 있는 건지 모르는데 솔직히 이 노래가 약한 노래는 아니라고 생각을
네.
하거든요. 그런 노래가 딱 들리는 순간 저는 무조건 아 이거 올려야 된다 해서 진짜 어떻게 보면 단점으로 보면 되게 급해진다.
네.
근데 장점으로 보면은 되게 에너지틱해 보인다라고 생각을 할 수가 있는데 저는 약간 이런 바라면은 오빠는 이렇게 노래가 막 이렇게 해도 나는 나의 길을 갈 것이요. 약간 이 도사 같은 느낌 있잖아요. 근데 이게 진짜 오빠 스타일대로 이게 리드미컬을 잘 표현해요. 저는
Yeah.
갔다가 이입하잖아요.
네.
그래가지고 약간 볼 때 항상 신기하게 느껴요.
저도 반대적인 부분에서 왁시나 저랑 이제 상극의 스타일로 플레이하시는 분들 보면 그런 신기함을 좀 많이 느끼는 편이라서.
그러면 이거 계속 끝까지 들어가는데 너무 신기해. 근데 안 끊겨.
힘을 이게 약간 좋게 말하면 조절을 잘하면 좋게 말하면 이제 거기까지 올릴 힘이 없었다 애초에. 그리고 이게 제가 예전에 배틀을 하다가 지금보다 이제 많이 어렸을 때인데
오케이.
20대 때 좀만 우승을 하면은 이게 해외를 보내주는 그런 행사였어요. 한국 대표.
오케이.
근데 이제 제가 이제 4강 때 이거를 어떻게든 이겨보려고 힘을 빡 줬다가 그러니까 내 이미 한계를 넘어섰다는 걸 인지를 하고
오케이.
힘을 줬다가 제가 거기에서 디스크가 터집니다. 처음 아파보는 느낌이기도 했고 제어가 안 되니까 가서 누워 있었어요 계속. 이거 배틀 너무 우승하고 싶으니까. 근데 주변에 이제 막 형들이라든지 야 이거 그냥 기권해 너무 아프면 멀리 바라고. 근데 이게 너무 아쉬운 거죠. 4강까지 올라와서
4강이
이겼는데
진짜 아쉽죠.
그걸 이기고 이제 결승을 계속 그걸 부여잡고 락을 타야 되는데 그게 안 되니까 이걸 계속 약간 이런 식으로 막 엄청 하고
와.
여기를 막 엄청 크게 쓰고 그래서 그 뒤로 뭔가 배틀에서 알거든요. 이게 센 노래가 오면 이 정도는 찔러줘야 보시는 분들도 조금 타격감을 느끼는 거 아는데 요즘은 함부로 섣불리 그렇게 안 해요. 그 한계를 넘어.
That's so interesting. See, I didn't know that at all. And please don't recommend the video. I don't know if I want to watch him struggle. If I'm being honest, we'll just reserve it for that time. We'll take his word for it. So interesting. And honestly, that's a really great example of kind of learning. You learn and you calibrate and you make choices or you set boundaries for yourself. And sometimes it takes doing it the hard way to realize those things. Because I know for me, I'm that way on, I can tell based on how my ankle feels on any given day. Like today, for example, I can tell if I try to dance without my ankle brace or like my it's a compression sock. If I don't wear my compression sock, I run a higher risk of spraining it again because it's a chronic thing at this point because it's happened about 2 to 3 times now since I initially sprained it and it's just never healed 100%. So the fact I have a podiatrist on standby at all times should tell you just how chronic this is. And I have to be very careful. And now I'm in the position too. I think it was very recently because I learned choreography and I can do a lot of different styles of choreography now compared to when I was younger, which is super cool. But a lot of times I can tell when I'm starting to overexert myself, which is what Ochan has mentioned. And there was a period of time, it happened literally a couple weeks ago. I had done back to back choreographies, one a day, different styles, which was cool. But what was happening is there was one point where my neck was so sore, I just kept going. And what ended up happening is I even worked out part of my back just with a massage gun. And what happened is after that, and then the day after, I'd learned choreo. my rotator cuffs felt like I couldn't lift my arms without feeling a sharp pain. And it didn't feel like the typical type of soreness that you experience, because whenever you experience like pain that you're used to, like in Oh-chan's case, he's used to knowing what it feels like to push himself, but he's never felt pain like how he felt with this I think it was a spinal disc, right? He's never felt that pain before. I had never felt that pain before, my rotator cuffs like that. And so luckily, thank goodness, it was just extreme. I think I was just fatigued, like aggressively. And I just forced myself to stop for a whole week. And then I'm right back in it. I'm fine, guys. So please don't think that I'm like in pain. I'm okay now. But that was rough. Like I was low key pretty concerned that I had done something to my rotator cuffs without realizing I did, because all I thought is I got to push myself and get this done because I like doing it, and also I'm on a time limit, if that kind of makes sense, you know? And so I totally understand that we're learning things the hard way. That's just kind of what it was. He had to learn it the hard way to know, I don't push beyond my limits. And you can apply that principle to life. Sometimes there's certain situations that you have to experience firsthand to know, maybe I shouldn't do that moving forward, you know, if that kind of makes sense. It's not just about dance. I think you can pertain that to literally everyday life. So shout out to him. I'm glad he's okay now, or I'm glad that he's more cautious now so he can think about long-term Oh-chan. And thank goodness he had people that he was, like with, I know he didn't low-key listen to them, but he was kind of forced to submit to like, oh, I can't really go forward with this. So man, that's brutal.
넘어간다는 게 요즘은 몸에서 조금 더 빨리빨리 알아차려요.
Right, your body will tell you.
계속 이게 좀
Because you learn the hard way of what it feels like as it builds up.
지금도 그냥 뭐 간간히 보면서 하고 있죠. 제 레드불 때도 그 살짝 있었어요. 힙합을 해서 몸이 아픈 게 아니라 그냥 제가 어렸을 때 몸을 잘 안 풀어서 아픈 겁니다. 요즘 춤추시는 댄서분들은
Let me also tell you that too, as somebody who is on the choreography side. Like I'm getting to the age where I'm still in my 20s, but it's still, I'm like, my body is not how it used to be. Like you can't just get up and dance. Like I have to now warm up. Ever since that whole thing happened a couple weeks ago, I can't just start dancing, because I can tell like my hip will get hurt. Like I will hurt myself at this point, and that just sounds so so old, right? But it's, and when you don't make a habit of it when you're younger, it's really gonna bite you in the butt when you're older. And I'm a perfect example of that, and Oh-chan's an example of that. So if it ain't him that you listen to, I don't know why you'd listen to me if you're not gonna listen to him. But I'm just saying, let me push and advocate. Yes, warm up your body, and there's so many different resources. A lot of times there's warm-ups that are calibrated to the style that you're training in. So you can just go YouTube, Google search that, and it's there. So I shout out to him for advocating warm up your body. And I would also say make sure you stretch at the end too, because a lot of people neglect the flexibility side of things because they're like, oh, I just need to be strong. Strength and flexibility go hand in hand. They need to be balanced. You don't want to be too flexible and no strength to hold it, as well as you don't want to be so strong with no flexibility to utilize it. So I would advocate to even add that at the end too, to just make sure that you're taking care of yourself and you're actually allowing your body to rest too. Rest days matter just as much as your active days. So.
잘 풀어라.
잘 푸세요. 시작했어 지금 시작했어.
She's so cute.
진짜 신기한 게 노래가 리듬 패턴도 그렇고 원래 왁시가 듣는 거하고는 좀 되게 딴판이
It does. Yeah.
그래도 이 리듬감 캐치
She calibrated very well. Yes.
이런 음악에.
근데 알잖아요. 제가 후공이었거든요.
That's true. She had time to listen.
아니겠습니까?
다 후공이어도 근데 이만큼 듣지는 못하죠. 이런 것들. 각 라운드별로 뭔가 아이디어들이 되게 다 너무 좋았었던 것 같아요. 그치.
I love that.
노래가 디테일하니까 분류로 다 저렇게 표현하는 거 너무 좋습니다.
제가 이거 스피커 밟은 이유 한번 설명해드릴게요.
예.
제가 스피커를 왜 밟았냐면요. 자, 설명드릴게요. 여러분 잘 보세요. 자, 리플레이 됩니다. 뚜럭 하고 몸 벌리고 팔 벌리는데 이때부터 내 팔이 아닌겨?
말을 안 들었구나.
내 팔이 진짜 여기다 10kg 달고 추는 느낌 있잖아요. 그래서 보면은 제 기준에서는 살짝 팔이 느려, 노래에 비해서. 그래서 안 되겠다 해가지고 올라가서 뭐라도 몸이라도 늘려라, 좀 쉽게 가려고 그래서 달리 올렸어요. 근데
I had a feeling. I had a feeling. It was something like
제가
that.
왁싱 배틀이나 뭐 올장미 배틀 나가. 그럼 제가 무대에서 많이 나갈까요? 안 나갈까요?
낚시는 그런 판은 아닌 것 같아요.
맞아요.
왜냐면 그런 걸 본 적이 거의 없어가지고.
맞아요. 저는 약간 이 스테이지에서 추는 거를 좋아하기도 하면서도 그런 거 나가는 순간 저는 완전 쇼케이스가 돼버렸다. 그러니까 배틀 모드보다. 그래서 최대한 안 나가는데 이거 쇼케이스였거든요.
This was a showcase, yeah. Yeah.
이때는 뮤지컬티 다 없어.
좋은 선택이었다.
선생이었어.
모두에게 좋은 추억을 안겨줘.
Yeah.
그래서 이제부터 마음속으로 생각해요.
What else can I do? Why is the MC doing the countdown? Yeah.
진짜
Oh my god.
다리,
Oh.
그치? 여기서 찍고 여기서 두 번 썼잖아 다리. 그래서 이거 별로 안 좋아해.
별로
She's like, I don't like
별로 안
this.
좋아하거든요.
마지막까지 그래도
Yeah.
아주 잘 싸웠다.
You did.
이제 봤다.
That's a hard event to do a lot of times.
감사합니다.
불러주셔가지고
감사합니다.
누굴래요?
Also to kind of finish this up too, like or before they finish, that I also know too, they can't be like honest about a lot of their feelings or they have to be very cordial in how they approach it. I mean, firstly, it's always a good way to kind of be able to articulate your perspective effectively without involving too much emotion into it. It's okay, of course, put your emotions in it, but don't let your emotions drive the conversation a lot of times. But in this context here, this was a job essentially, right? It was work that they were doing and that they participated in. And so they can't just like say, I was awful and blah, 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 blah. They can say, I felt really insecure here. And then they're encouraging each other. That's genuine. Like everything they're saying is genuine. But I'm saying there's also like a certain degree of cordialness and they're not really being like super blunt about it either because it's some people that are going to be watching this are going to be people who were physically there or who hired them, right? Potentially, or contracted them out. So it's cool that they're able to actually showcase a hybrid of we're human, we were low-key off today on that day, but also not that blunt and that negative about it to where it felt like we just wasted your time and we didn't give you our best. You know, like they still did their best, but it was also the morning. And dancing in the morning, it feels so different. And you're just like, because your body just is in a conditioned state of, okay, around this time of day is normally when you do a particular activity, so your body subconsciously equips for that. But whenever you're dancing out of the time in which you normally dance, your body's not going to be in the place it normally is, if that's my point. And there's nothing wrong with that. We get to grow in that. But I just find it so interesting that that's something that was brought up here. We're here for it, though.
약간 여기 자주 와가지고 좀 약간 맞춰진 것 같아.
You have! Good job!
너무 오늘 또 뜻깊었네요. 이렇게 레드불에 이어서 입실렌티까지 리뷰할 수 있게 돼서 다 또 댓글 남겨주신 덕분에 제가 또 여기 채널에 한 번 더 출연을 할 수 있게 됐습니다.
진짜 여러분 너무 감사합니다.
너무 감사해요.
I will always advocate for waxing Olchan.
왁시가 박살을 냈거든요.
아닙니다.
꼭 보셔야 되는 게 일단 2차 오픈 스타일 예선 여기에서도 진짜 두각을 나타낸
Oh, he's saying the open style qualifiers.
그것도 왁시가 저지쇼를 영상 곧 뜰 텐데 잘하더라고요.
아니 근데 저는 다 떠나서 이번에 정말 불러주셔서 감사합니다.
So I haven't watched the qualifiers of any of the events.
또 10주년이라 이제.
Wow.
혹시 약간 스포가 있나요?
제 바람은
Yes.
나인에 했었던 걸 베이스로 두고 규모가 조금 더 커지면은 좀 여기에 또 다른 댄서분들을 조금 더 모시고 싶다.
와우.
You should do
그런
that.
환경이 된다면
Yeah.
참가비도 조금 낮춰보고 이번에는 진짜 어쩔 수 없이 올렸었던 건데 이게 저희 목적이 원래 이게 후배들 돈 쓰게 하지 않기 위해서 행사를 열었는데 이게 어느 순간 뭐 물론 행사가 커지면 당연히 참가비도 올라가야 되죠. 그거 맞는데 이게 또 4일, 4, 5일이면 그 참가비만 신경 쓸 수는 없잖아요. 또
맞아요.
와서 밥 먹는 거에 숙박 이런 것도 신경 쓰셔야 되니까 그걸 아무튼 잘 조율을 좀 해가고 있는 단계고 그리고 되게 좋은 소식이 하나 아마 내년에 라인업 시즌 10에는 저희가 아주 그 빼놓을 수 없는 그 대중교통 회사랑 지금 얘기를 하고 있는 게 있어서 조금 더 뭔가 편하게 오실 수 있는 결과물이 도출될 수 있게 한번 만들어 보겠습니다. 많은 관심 가져주시고요. 내년에도 왁시 섭외할 테니까 많이 보러 와주세요.
Yes, I mean, low key, this happened what, in June? Oh man, I really want to go. Maybe if it works out, I would love to just go and watch. That would be so freaking sick. But also, this is the lineup 9. I only just saw the whacking portion, and I don't know if I'll watch the qualifiers for any of the styles. I may just stick to the top 16 to finals and the judge showcases as well. That is still like I have full intention of watching all of that. But it's really cool, that event in particular. I really liked the just who they had as battle guests too, and that's what he's also talking about, is that you pay for battle guests to come to be a part too. So I love the fact that he's one of the organizers for it, because the quality of the event was great so far that I had seen. And the judges, I mean, once again, I've only seen the whacking portion, but I will see the other ones very soon. I see that there's a certain degree of genuinity in the choices. It feels more considerate to the culture, and to the battle, like the underground. But but I know part of it does come from the fact that the organizers are active participants, and they're what's the word? They're just participants in it. And when you have people that are practitioners of whatever they're stewarding, like in my case, I'm a practitioner as a choreographer and as a dancer and as an educator, so I'm continuing to grow myself and be a student in multiple facets. It allows me more of an opportunity to kind of express or relate to the material that I'm even watching too. I'm not just trying to be helpful to people, I'm also just making sure that I continue to grow and that I stay not relevant, but I see how the culture is growing, because that's the appropriate thing to do in the position that I'm in, and that's the responsibility that I hold as a teacher as well. So all that to say, I really, really enjoyed watching what I've seen so far of lineup 9. Shout out to Bitgo's dancers, phenomenal movers, and just the type of event and how it was structured looks great so far. And the fact that we got to talk about this event, and the fact that WAACKXXXY is even open to being honest about her particular dance journey is inspiring to me as somebody who doesn't battle, but I do cypher and I do freestyle. But I normally do competitions in the choreography scene. And so that's I've already mentioned that a couple times before, but I really love the fact that she has these, so we get to talk about these things, like something so simple as waking up in the morning. Like dancing in the morning versus at night does affect your movement quality. You're not invincible, you're human,
여러분, 라인업 안 오면
I want to
진짜
come.
못 살아.
WAACKXXXY told me to. WAACKXXXY told me to.
잘 먹고 잘 살자.
I want to.
많이 봐주시고요. 댓글도 많이 남겨주세요.
너무 감사합니다, 여러분.
저희 이번에 또 레드불에서
I would love to.
사랑해요, 레드불.
감사합니다.
사랑해요, 레드불. He said it, we're done.
지금까지 입실렌티 리뷰도 했고, 오늘은 진짜 첫 번째 영상 오빠랑 리뷰했던 것보다 훨씬 재밌게 리뷰를 했던 것 같아요.
그죠.
확실히 그때는 제가 심장이 뛰었던 이유가 정말 어색해가지고 제가
인정. 너무 인정.
이걸 어떻게 풀어낼까.
이런 걸 해본 적이 없어서.
이런 걸 해본 적이
네,
없어서
그죠.
그랬다가 확실히 한 번이 어렵지 뭐 두 번은 뭐
재밌네요.
해보니까 좀 괜찮네요.
재밌네요.
그래서
Yeah.
이번에는 좀 더 재밌게 또 썰을 풀지 않았나 싶습니다.
네, 평상시에는 이런 거 보는데 취미가 있어가지고 리뷰 비디오나 이런 거 심심할 때 한 번씩 보거든요. 네. 근데 이렇게 또 참여하러 오니까 그거 나름대로도 더 재밌고, 다음에 또 시간이 되면 또 한번 피처링을 하러 오겠습니다.
예스. 자, 그렇다면 지금까지 왁시
5,000원이었습니다.
빠이 안녕.
Yay!
알림 설정.
해주세요. 뿅.
Cool. Oh, he says that he watches what is it? Analysis review. So WAACKXXXY, Olchan, if you guys watch this, thank you for being you. Thank you for being being honest and being genuine, and I've appreciated physically meeting you, Olchan, in person, and then WAACKXXXY being able to analyze your movement quality just from your time in Street Woman Fighter Season 2, your time before that, as well as seeing you here. I admire you immensely in your growth and your submissiveness to always be a student and to calibrate yourself to your music, and both of you have showcased such inspiration to me as an individual, to where it helps me want to be a better steward of when I look at analysis. So thank you for being you if you ever watch this. And if not, that's fine too. I'll still keep doing it anyway. But I hope to be at lineup next year. It just looks phenomenal, of the type of event, and just being physically there in the space will always feel different. I know that too. So we'll see if the cards fall that way. But I loved this. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. If you want to see more Waxy and Ulchan, I have seen them on Street Woman Fighter Season 2, Street Dance Girl Fighter, Street Man Fighter, Fusion. I've seen, you know, Lineup. I mean, they are all over my YouTube and all over my Patreon. So if you want to see more, you can just go on, I believe you can just go on my channel and just type in 5000, right? Or Ulchan, or you can type in Waxy and you'll probably get a lot of videos there. Have fun, enjoy it. And I'm excited for the discussions and dialogue on this. I love being able to take a look at material and then immediately see the commentary from the individuals who participated in it, because I feel like I'm gonna have a way better understanding of what I'm looking at. Hence why I love looking at Waxy's reviews, because it helps me grow to see, was I actually looking at that in the right lens, or maybe should I calibrate it next time I encounter that situation with Waxy or with another whacker or just a dancer in general in that niche in that show. So I had a lot of fun with this. Once again, my name is Jess and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.